Welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. I'm so excited because each week I get to interview game changers in the wellness arena. And today I have Jamie Wozny. And she basically is a transformational coach, a Reiki Master, a meditation teacher. What is so fun is she also Reikis animals, which I think is the most coolest thing ever. That is probably not what she thinks is the coolest thing, but it is pretty cool. She does so much in the wellness arena, and I think that Reiki these days is really incredible to learn, to have yourself worked on. I mean, I love being like having a Reiki person work. I mean, energy work is so important. And I think for just well-being and just health overall and really thriving in your life. So welcome, Jamie.
Well, thank you.
And how did you get into
all of
this?
Wow. My old life, I came to LA to be an actress, and then the universe was like, wait a second, we have something in store for you. And 7 years ago, I got really sick, and Western medicine wasn't working for me at the time, and I was convinced there was this thing inside of me that was like, there's something more, there's something deeper. What is it?
Has that always been in you?
Always.
Like that feel,
yeah. I was the kid that asked my mom, I was like, what are we? Like, what is life about, you know?
You were a deep thinker.
I was a deep thinker. And then Reiki was my first friendly little healing ally.
Okay.
And that just led me on this. First, it was this desperation, because I was like, I want to heal. There's got to be something out there. And it kept me going and going and going. And then it just became like, wow, this is so cool. And it turned into a curiosity, and then it turned into a passion. And now I just love to share it in any way, shape, or form I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so you do private sessions.
Private sessions.
And you also teach Reiki certification programs, right?
Yeah. So I'm in all different, I'm in a bunch of my hands in a bunch of different, what's the phrase?
Yeah, just areas.
Lots of things. Areas. Sure. We'll say areas. Yes, I do. I do talks at businesses.
Yeah.
I do group classes. I do training. So
Where do you do the group classes? Is it different places?
I work at the Den Meditation.
Okay.
So I share there as well. I'm in the business market. I'm doing one at like co-working spaces and friends' houses and all sorts of everything, as much as I can speak and talk about it.
Right.
But yeah, I love to train. My passion's with groups. I have a lot of private clients, but there's something about the group setting in person where you can connect to people, and when you see somebody wake up to their true nature, which is the thing I love the most, and they like pause a second and then they're like, oh, wait, I get it. And that's what I love. I love seeing that actually happen, and they wake up and something shifts in their eyes. And
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
do they when they wake up and something shifts, which I have experienced myself, which is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But how do we keep that wake up going? How does somebody, you know how we sort of slip back into our old patterns sometimes, but how does someone, do they come back and see you? Do you pretty much, you just keep moving forward and sort of taking away the layers?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's why when I work one-on-one with clients, I do 3-month packages, because the brain, as we are all well aware of, can easily slip back into patterns, into our old way of being.
Right.
The thing that I love, though, which is kind of transformational in my work, is that I love the analogy that we're the sky. Have you heard this one before?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we're the sky. We're that constant peaceful backdrop. And then there's the clouds that happen within the sky, which is the thinking, which is our human experience. So when you say, well, how do we stay in that space? What I would say, even though our mind has a lot of trouble wrapping our head around this, is that you already are that space. There's nothing you have to fight for. There's nothing you have to fix. There's nothing you have to change. There's nothing you have to control. It's this weird thing that happens when we remember who we are. Right. Michael Neal's one of my mentors, and his big thing that he goes around and tells everybody, he's like, just don't forget that you're God. You're God. You're source. You're, even on an energetic and scientific level or a spiritual level, your energetic potential. Don't you know that, child?
Wow.
And when you can remember that, it's like, that's where the insights come. Because the insights are, to me, I see it as, well, they're in alignment with that space. They're our loving nature. They're truth.
Right.
So we have one of those, we wake up, we go, oh, that's who I am. And then the other stuff falls away. And then there's so much less we have to do. Then there's less lists we have to write and healers we need to see. And, you know, there's still a time and place for all of those things.
Right.
I go and do those things if my intuition says, hey, go here and do this. But it's a wild thing when we turn the light on and we're like, oh, this is my creative potential. This is who I am.
We see things more clearly.
Yeah, and so there isn't this, our mind wants to go, because we're given so many prescriptions in this society of like, okay, you've got to meditate 4 hours a day to feel okay, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do that, and you've got to, you know, there's a million rules to be okay. And then that gets us more in our head. And it's so much simpler than that. It's like, okay, let's slow it down. We're a moment-to-moment experience of the divine. If in this moment I want to eat something that's calling to me, great. If this cleanse is calling to me, great. But it doesn't mean that every single September for the rest of my life, in order to feel okay, I gotta do this thing.
Yeah, so rigid, so restrictive.
Yeah,
like
keeps you back in your mind.
Right. So living it, I mean, I know living in your mind is just detrimental.
Sure, and we all do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, but living in your heart and in your body is where the good stuff is.
Where the good stuff is, and it's just remembering, like, okay, for me, my business is called Divinely Human.
Okay.
And it's like that for a reason, because forever I thought I was focusing only on the divine part. And I was like, let's just really expand in all this goodness and forget about all this uncomfortable stuff and make more of the good and less of the bad. But that's the opposite of self-love, right? It's completely eradicating part of our human experience and saying this is bad, I shouldn't have that. And then when we're in resistance to ourselves, it perpetuates the struggle and the problem. So now it's about going, what's true with every human? Well, wait, we're human. We have thinking, we have sadness, we have anger, we have bouts of anxiety or depression or sleepless nights or whatever we're experiencing. And that's okay because it's temporary and because it's not the sky and it can never touch the sky and it can never change the sky. It's my deepest thing I share in all of my classes is, you know, if you realize and see truly in your bones that that's an experience, it's like, okay, I'm having this, but I don't need to kick and scream and throw a tantrum and a hissy fit.
When you're in that experience.
When you're in that experience.
When it doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
like
we
that,
always say in my work, it's like, you know, ride the lows gracefully and just enjoy the hell out of the highs, you know, while they're lasting. But don't grab for stuff because, like, the sky doesn't need to grab. The sky is just the sky. And it's like, oh, look at that thing passing by. And
that's such an interesting analogy of the sky and the clouds because it is easy to grasp for most people.
Totally.
And the sky is endless.
Exactly.
So it's like the possibilities are endless, right?
And that's who you are. That's who we are, infinite potential. And you know, the mind gets sticky. We identify with it. And of course we do. We're in there. Another analogy I love to give is it's like fish in water. So fish have been in water their whole life and they say, what's water? And we say, what's thinking? What's a belief system? What are you talking about, Jamie? And I'm like, you're going to give me proof of everything you believe because that's the function of proof. Is to give me proof of everything you believe as opposed to the miracles happen when we can let go of our identification with it and keep that door open just a crack to be proved absolutely wrong. That's when I have like been humbled and brought to my knees and started the healing process because I'm like, my God, this healer and teacher that I am, I'm wrong all the time. And it's amazing.
So you don't have all the answers, Jamie.
No, absolutely not.
I thought you
Thank
did.
God.
No.
Yeah. Jamie for president.
That's another cool thing is like knowing that we just don't have all the answers. And it's okay not to have the answers,
It's supposed to be that way.
That's not really how we were brought up.
Yeah. Our true nature is unknown.
And to live in the unknown and be comfortable, right?
Yeah.
To be okay with it.
And that's a practice. Like you said, maybe you come back to meditation because you just get used to sitting in that space and going, it's okay to have absolutely no idea what my next step is. Because the sky that you are has inner wisdom. That's something that's standard in everybody. And when we hang out in that unknown, something always occurs to us. And one thing that's crazy is most of us think inner wisdom is supposed to look a certain way. But inner wisdom, someone loves inner wisdom. inner wisdom. We think it's supposed to look a certain way. So it could be the most simple, obvious, common sense thing that's like, do a cleanse,
right.
or forgive your father, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we miss it because we think inner wisdom should be this light, fluffy unicorn. And sometimes it is.
Right.
And it never leads us to anything, or so I've seen, and with the work that I've done with other people, it always leads us to something that's good for us.
Right.
For our highest good, you know, and everyone's. Because it ain't just for us, right?
Right. No, I know.
Right?
For the universe, or for friends and family and everybody around us.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of crucial in terms of who you're with and who you're hanging with and what they're bringing to you and how you're being able to help them open up to this softer side and living in the unknown. And so it doesn't make people as angry or frustrated or unhealthy.
Right,
like that
exactly.
Is like they're terribly unhealthy because of not being okay with, you know, just the unknown and not having to know everything, control everything.
And it's tough. I mean, we all do it and we slip in and out of it. But I see the more I understand these principles, it's like I spend more time in Jamie, like that. Yeah. That my connection to source than I ever did before. I used to think, this is one thing I wanted to share with you. I used to think that joy, even teaching this for the last 8 years, it's like we all have our areas where we can't see past. I thought it lived in something else. I thought, okay, well, when my body fully heals, when my bank account is to a certain thing, when I'm talking to this many people and have this many clients, then I'll be like, you know, going and traveling the world and just really.
Right. Everything is on a high note and I've made it.
I've made it. And that's where joy lives. That's where peace lives. That's where happiness lives. That's where the sky lives, right? But I had a meditation the other day and I woke up and I had the inner wisdom insight that popped through and I heard, Jamie, you're still waiting for joy. It's right here. It's right here, kid.
Wow.
And in that moment, I thought, oh my gosh, driving to work, I can be as happy as a 5-year-old. And then I just was. It wasn't like I had to throw in mantras and affirm it and rewire my brain. Well, although those things can be good, I'm not poo-pooing that.
Right.
But because I am the sky, because you are the sky comes with a lightness, a freedom, a silliness, an innocence, a playfulness, a creativity. And so when I realized it lived here, I was so goofy. I was like my poor boyfriend. I was like texting all these crazy emoji stories and he's like, what has gotten into you? I'm like, life.
That is beautiful.
Right?
Yeah,
and so when it's like, what are we waiting for?
I know.
It does not live in the promotions or the anything or the relationships. Or yes, those are beautiful human experiences. Have them, enjoy them.
Right.
You know, we have the ability as humans to manifest all these really cool things. But
waiting for them.
You can be sick. Like you can still have symptoms. My lungs are the last thing to finally heal. And I'm like, okay, when that thing heals, but I realized I was like the other day, I was so happy and my lungs were still tight. And it's like, well, what's the correlation there? You've got this gift in you.
Right.
And when you meet other people who remember that too, it rubs off. We all kind of just, like you were saying, when you hang out with family and it's the ripple effect of remembering you're the sky.
Which is, I'm going to have to think about that constantly because that is, and tell my girls, because that is such a beautiful, easy thing to think about and to just, I know, lighten the load. So things are so heavy everywhere, right? So what does the future hold for you? What are some things that you want to explore in the next year and a half? Or
wow, that's a great question. We'll see. I'm hanging out in the unknown.
Right.
But Jamie's
the sky doesn't know the answer to that.
Right. There's a balance because otherwise I'd be sitting on my couch waiting. We're co-creators is how I see it. But I'm leading a retreat in Bali, November 1st to 7th.
Okay.
All that info's on my Instagram. I'm super excited about it.
How many retreats do you lead a year? Do you do?
A couple a year. Tulum, Bali. I would like to I want to do some little mini day ones in like Ojai or Malibu. Okay. Just to make that more affordable and feasible for some people. But yes, more retreats, more speaking engagements. I'm doing some more podcasts. Okay. Honestly, whatever way, shape, or form this takes, I just want to get it out there in a bigger way. I'm working on another book right now,
Okay.
and just posting lots of blogs, and
So you have a book.
Ebook.
Ebook. Okay.
Ebook, yes.
That is
on my
people
website.
okay, on the website.
Yeah, on my
that
website for
people
free.
Okay.
Website's my name.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
working on a book about miracles now, because people are like, how do you bring this stuff into your life? And I'm like, well, if I put it on paper, then you can see. But
Right. Exactly.
yeah, just however it unfolds. And
Wow. And do you see more and more people understanding what Reiki is and wanting to experience Reiki? Because
it's the most popular class that I teach.
Okay.
It's fascinating. And people who, it's funny, people that are super science-based are like, this stuff's weird.
I know.
They come
I get
to
a
my
lot of that.
right, we all do.
Because I always recommend Reiki or
Yeah.
energy healing, and they're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But I was like that too. I mean, when I moved from Maryland to LA 12 years ago, I was like, Diet Coke is healthy. I just had my head in the gutter.
Right.
Right. And then my mind was blown open. But yes, it's the most popular class, and people just feel it. It's an energy of love.
Yeah.
It's an element of the sky. So people are like, I recognize this. This is part of my true nature. This is who I am.
Right.
So without them needing to wrap their heads around and intellectualize it, they rest on the floor. They have these shifts, and they feel it. And I love sharing it with other people. It's such a beautiful thing, because you can use it to heal yourself, to heal others. It's just
a gift.
It's
that you give yourself.
It's magic, full on. Yeah,
it is totally magic.
Yeah.
I totally. So if you had to sum up your mission in one word, what would that be?
My mission is to remind people of who they are. To remind people of who they are. Yeah.
Like they're enough.
Oh my
about
gosh.
who they are, right? They're just enough in their skin, and
is a flower enough?
Yeah.
It's
totally.
So are we. We're the same nature, but with a brain that likes to tell us we're not.
I know.
So the point is,
what a relief.
What a relief. And that if those thoughts of I'm not enough come in, we just look at them and observe them and go, oh, got stuck in that I'm not enough algorithm again. Just a cloud that I've known my whole life. But what lives under that?
Yeah.
And just be curious about if you're experiencing like the I'm not enough thing, or whatever you're experiencing. Then I say be curious to the opposite. Open up to, okay, well, all right, universe, heart, Jamie, Alyssa, show me the part of me that is enough.
Right.
Make me aware of that. And then see what unfolds and have fun with it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You are love.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for being on my show.
Thanks for having
so
me.
Glad to know you.
You too.